Hi there, my name is Ken, and I'm from the Moneymakers Academy. On this course, we'll be tackling about on how to start a business while working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Many of you out there probably want to start your own business, but you're running into these called roadblocks. Like, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I'll do it tomorrow. Now, in my own experience, and I'd like to share to you that these roadblocks, they're just excuses. And we're going to talk that about right now. And this is how to minimize these excuses so you can push past them and create the business you've always wanted for yourself. Now, for my goal for this course, I will present to you the frequently made excuses made by the small or starting business owners they usually make. And then, after that, I'll give you some tips on how to overcome them. Because today, we've got some helpful tips for you today that should put you on the right track and mindset for overcoming your fears, excuses on starting your own business from home, especially while working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, we will be bringing you these 7 excuses, these frequently 7 excuses that is being made by starting business owners. Now, let's hop onto it. Now, for our course outline for today on how to start a business while working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., first excuse is that I don't have any good ideas. And then, the next excuse we'll discuss is I want to start a big business, but I don't want to be a freelancer. Now, that is a very common excuse for everyone. Then the next excuse is that I don't have the time. Then, excuse number 4, we'll discuss on I don't have the energy. And then excuse number 5, we'll discuss on everyone's going to make fun of me. And then excuse number 6, this is frequently being used, you're just waiting for permission. And then last excuse is the most crucial one, I'll do it tomorrow. Now, I believe that these excuses are somehow familiar to you. Is this becoming more interesting? Okay, so let's proceed to the first topic. Now, these frequently made excuses, these are actually roadblocks. And these roadblocks are just excuses. And we're going to talk that right now and about how to minimize these excuses so you can push past them and create businesses and you've always wanted for yourself. Now, the dream of all entrepreneurs is a smooth journey from planning to opening to expanding. And unfortunately, this dream is rarely realized, and most small businesses encounter at least few common problems and must overcome them on the road to success. And the best way to do this is to have plans in place for as many potential pitfalls as possible. Now, in general, there are 2 ways time can act as a hindrance. Now, to running a successful company, the first comes as a result. Now, this is just in general. It is not of having the right amount of time to put towards your business. But entrepreneurs have to be their own website engineers, customer service representatives, marketers, networkers, order fulfillers, and more. When a business starts growing, it requires certain discipline, which is a natural progression. This is where the business develops the systems and procedures that help the owners manage the unpredictability in the business environment and plan for optimizing resources like money, material, manpower, and time. Now, let's get into it. Here we have the first excuse. The first excuse is, I don't have any good ideas. Now, this is one of the most common reasons that people with a day job never get started. And actually, it's hogwash. Of course, you have great ideas. You just aren't paying attention to them. So many people, they fall into the trap of thinking you need a revolutionary business idea to get started. But actually, you don't. Your business ideas can be simple and still be successful. And there are so many proven business models out there that you can learn from and make your own version of it. So you don't even have to come up with a completely new idea. So how can you come up with good business ideas even if you don't think of you have any? One thing here is let go of originality. There are countless businesses already in existence, right? So, it's very likely that you won't be the first person to think of an idea or a product. Many talented entrepreneurs waste time and energy trying to think of a unique business, and when they should be focusing on how to be better rather than how to be different. The next thing is use your skill set. If you're not trained in finance, you wouldn't be open an accountancy practice, and it's the same with any business. You're far more likely to make your idea a success if you focus on the skills you already have. And then another is solve a problem. I get ideas about how to do things differently all the time. And if you look around your house or workplace, you'll actually see a huge number of problems or mundane tasks that could potentially be made easier by a new product or service. If you identify an issue that someone else hasn't already solved, chances are there will be a market for it. And there will be too many great ideas remain undeveloped. Just get out there and just do it. Another tip here is to look abroad for inspiration. Now, a person here, we have Jimmy Cregan. He actually came up with this business idea when he was traveling in Australia. And he discovered that the iced coffee market there. And looking for abroad for inspiration can actually be a great place to start. You might discover a product that hasn't been yet marketed in your local area, or you could discover a new way to present an existing product. Now, Jimmy Cregan believes that you can recognize an idea that has real potential by its persistence. If you like the idea of quitting your day job and becoming an entrepreneur, that's great, but you'll be needing to find something you will spend more time on than anything else in your whole life. Aside from breathing, he explains that the idea needs to be embedded in your brain like some sort of a bug that won't go away. Then, the idea won't let you go to sleep. The idea will wake you up in the morning and it won't leave your side. That's the kind of idea and inspiration that Cregan is inputting here. Take your inventory of your skills. Now, here, you need to figure out what you're an expert at and monetizing it. But don't just think about business-related things. Maybe you're an expert at flowering arranging, dog walking, or always you find the coolest new apps. You're probably really experienced in something. Even if it's really a niche, often we don't realize what we're good at because it comes so naturally to us. So ask your friends, even ask your best friend, your wife, your husband, your colleague, what kind of business they can imagine you starting. Now start texting 2 people right now. Or what do your friends come to you for? Think of people you've talked to in the past 30 days and what have they asked you? For example, for me, it's advice about YouTube. And don't forget to consider any creative hobbies you have on the side. Do you bake cookies? Do you brew your own beer? Are you really good at yoga? Do friends and family always ask you to pet sit? You might not realize it, but you're an expert at something, and that something can actually be monetized. And also, find people and businesses that need your help the most. Another great way to come up with a business idea is to find people or businesses that needs your help. Now how? First, check marketplaces. Marketplaces are great because they show you which products and services people are already buying and selling. Try looking on to TaskRabbit, Thumbtack, Fiverr, Upwork, Etsy, and of course, the AppSumo marketplace for ideas. Because one of the biggest advantages of using online marketplaces is that they can make it easier to acquire new clients and expand your customer base. Marketplaces help small businesses reach a wider variety of customers who may not have heard of their product otherwise. Now, a keyword search on a marketplace site displays our goods and services in a list with other brands and distributors. And this kind of high competition could be an advantage for you. And depending on how you rank when it comes to pricing and customer reviews. Now, the trust factor here is that marketplace platforms also have the advantage of the trust factor. Rather than buying from an unknown web store they've never heard before, first-time buyers of a new brand feel more at ease buying from a name they know and trust like eBay and Amazon. So, is extending your business to the online world worth the money? Are there really benefits to owning your own e-commerce channel? Definitely. So, is extending your business to sell online worth the money? Are there really benefits of an online sales channeling that is owned by you? Of course. Another thing here is online communities. Now, join all the local freelance gig in Facebook groups and see what other people are doing. Now, here are some examples, like the Cult of Copy group for copywriters, stuff to do in Austin if you want to be a tour guide or host cool events, or Austin Startups if you want to help entrepreneurs who are starting a business with any services that is legal, of course, legal, design, market research, and many more. Because online communities build brand awareness, they also increase leads and drive conversations. With a clear purpose and the right moderation, these communities can become one of your most powerful marketing channels. Their ability to create relationships between brands and customer makes them a validated marketing strategy that businesses in almost any industry. Next idea is leverage your network. You need to check with any connection you know from your current job to see if they could take on as a client on the side. And then another here is do free work for your dream clients. Now, this strategy is great because it gets your foot in the door. Who turns down free work, right? Plus, it gives you an opportunity to impress them and become indispensable to their business. And if you do a job, free work almost always turns into paid work, right? The second excuse is, I want to start a big business, but I don't want to be a freelancer. Now, one of the most common excuses people say is that they want to start a big business like Google or Facebook, but they don't want to be a freelancer and trade their time for money. But guess what? Those people are still making $0 by not starting. Every big business starts with one customer. So don't focus on the scale of your business just yet. Just focus on starting. Focus on getting that first customer and that first scale. And that will give you the confidence to go after so much more. Plus, if you start as a freelancer and get consistent rolling in, you can start hiring people to do the work for you and scale your operation as you grow. Or you could use software to automate your business and become a tech company. Just because you start as a freelancer doesn't mean you have to stay as one. You can always grow it into a bigger business. But just start it first by getting one customer. There are various ways to make money online. You can sell products and earn through profit, finding a remote job, or do both and start a service based on freelance business. Now, this type of money-making opportunity isn't new to us. While this type of online business is nothing new to us or to the online entrepreneur world, it also oftentimes mistaken as a remote job. Now, in a nutshell, online freelancing business offers a certain skill that can be accomplished remotely, like SEO, graphic designing, video editing, content creation, and many more. However, the freelancer will not be tied to an employment contract with the client. Also, the freelancer can contract other freelancers to fulfill their deliverables. The freelancer can take as many projects as he or she can and outsource as many as he wants to take a commission of it. And if you want to enjoy the perks of working online but don't want to be tied to a single client and locked to a specific schedule, the freelancing business scene might be just for you. Now, how do you start being a freelancer? First, you need to choose a specific market. You need to boost your opportunities. You can start by narrowing down on a specific set of people or business to focus on providing your services. Now, this will trim down your competition to boost your opportunities and help you become more visible to the people that you want to work with. And how do you do this? It's quite simple actually. Choose the specific clients who you think will need your business. Women entrepreneurs, or better yet, women entrepreneurs in the healthy and fitness industry. You actually don't have to be right. You just have to choose. Like health and fitness coaches, dating coaches, female online entrepreneurs, e-commerce business owners, vegan or cruelty business owners, being a motivational speaker, Amazon FBA sellers, male financial coaches. You can narrow down your target market enough for you to easily find a niche or space you can claim as your expertise. Then second, choose a skill. Assuming that you're an aspiring freelancer who doesn't have any freelancing experience yet, the next step is to choose a skill that you want to offer. Seasoned freelancers should already have this figured out, but even they sometimes have to reassess their skills and choose one that they'll put forward. The thing with this is you must have at least one focus skill that you can call your expertise. And then lastly, optimize your profile. Optimizing your profile in LinkedIn or Facebook will make selling your services easier and simpler. Clients will find you instead of you looking for them. Well, clients don't find you all the time this way, but it increases your social media visibility. And when clients search for a certain need, not just in social media platforms such as the two mentioned above, but also in freelancing sites like Upwork or Fiverr. Now, the question is how exactly do you optimize your profile? For freelancing sites like Upwork, Online Jobs, and other similar sites, this could be as easy as changing your title. For example, you can change web designer to lead generating web designs for realtors. You need to specify how you can solve the problem and who your target market is. The third excuse is, I don't have the time. The number one thing to think about, if this is the excuse you tell yourself, then what is your dream? Is it your dream to have a day job? Well, don't get me wrong, lots of day jobs are great, and they can be a great way to make a lot of money and have a comfortable living. But if you're listening to this right now, then you're probably looking for something more. So I want you to write this down. Where do I want to be? Maybe you just want some side income. Maybe you want to explore your creativity and make money from it. Or maybe you do want to run your own business in the future. So I want you to write down what your dream is. And now consider what you're willing to give up, because there is a trade-off. You won't be able to watch Netflix every night, or you might have to give up a weekend or a lunch break or a happy hour. But the truth is, you have the time if you make the time. So start auditing your time. How are you spending it? And is how you're spending it getting you closer to that dream you wrote down or not? Everyone has a weekend to change their life. Maybe it won't be a weekend for you, depending on your life and commitments. But it can be an hour before work, your lunch break, or an hour after work. Wherever you can make time. And if you're having a hard time making time, ask the people around you for help. See if you can get more support from your friends or family to take one thing off your plate, or ask your work if they'll allow your schedule to be more flexible. If they won't, consider getting a job that's less demanding and more flexible. There's always an option. Find something that works for your life. And one thing here is time management. Time management refers to planning and controlling the time spent on specific activities. It's an essential skill to have, and by mastering it, you'll be able to work smarter than harder. Proper time management should be a priority, especially for small businesses that cannot afford to waste time. Implementing as soon as possible, good time management within the team can actually boost the business performance and help the company to achieve the wanted results with less effort and more effective strategies. Good time management also refers to the ability to think fast and react quickly in a particular situation that might occur. For example, you notice that one of your competitors has released a Black Friday campaign that becomes a huge success. The offer is pretty good. You have to buy one and get one free. Now let's imagine that you didn't plan to offer a discount before Black Friday. And for the event, you've thought of offering 30% off only on specific products. In this situation, good time management allows businesses to take action in unforeseen circumstances. You have to come up with a strategy to overcome your competitor's success, but also to plan a hard-to-refuse discount for your audience. And actually, time management is a learning skill. So with a bit of patience and determination, you'll start to make better use of your working hours. Now here's how. First, you need to plan. If you're not familiar with time management, start by planning your working hours and set up when it's the right time to do a task or an activity. Making plans for today's working schedule, tomorrow's schedule, and so on. And sticking to them, it's the first step to become a time management pro. All you need is discipline, and don't forget that the main goal is to work smarter than harder and save time if possible. The next thing is you need to prioritize. Planning your daily work schedule is important, but prioritizing your task is crucial. This process will help you to figure out which are your most important tasks, which are the less important ones, and what you should focus on and when. After completing this step, you'll know exactly what needs to be done and how quickly. Then lastly is use time tracking software. Stop filling in agendas or Google Sheets with your to-do list or daily tasks. Time management systems like time tracking software helps you to manage your schedule, your team's schedule right on your desktop or on your phone. Time tracking on a shared platform allows business owners to create transparency within the team. The possibility to quickly manage schedules, assign tasks, communicate or share ideas with your colleagues about particular tasks demonstrates teamwork. And also it ensures that each employee has an important contribution to the business's success. The next excuse is, I don't have the energy. Something that's really important to point out here is that your business should be something that adds energy to your life rather than takes it away. Find the thing that adds energy to your life and is going to make it better. If your business is draining your energy, you're never going to want to work on it and you're going to procrastinate on it. Never want to make time for it in your schedule. That's no way to start a successful business. So, if you find yourself starting a business, you're not excited about them, and you actually dread spending time on them, try something else. You're way less likely to succeed at doing something you hate. So find something that you're excited about instead. But actually don't fall into a trap of quitting on something too soon. Make sure you give it a good try first and build some momentum before you decide whether or not it's draining or adding energy into your life. It's that space where you feel your best and work your best. Everyone's energy is different, and that's fine. You'll be effective no matter what energy you possess once you understand it a little more and learn to harness it. Because here's the great thing about having processes and confidence in your business. It allows you to be more authentically you. And that's pretty correct, right? Now, let's dive into I'll be giving you some tips around energy. First, energy is contagious. If you ever hung around someone with bad, negative energy for more than a few minutes, then you know what I mean. Even the most positive, buoyant person will struggle in that situation to remain upbeat. And the opposite is true as well. Just picking up the phone with a smile on your face can actually help set the mood, which is really important as a business owner, especially one in a creative field. Second, be yourself. This leads to my second point. You as a business owner are in charge of setting and maintaining the energy throughout your projects, including resetting if things get a little off track. Keep things positive and be yourself, and you will attract your ideal clients because they won't just gravitate towards your amazing designs, but also your amazing energy. This starts with the copy on your website, your blog, your social media accounts, before you've taken talk to a prospective client. And then lastly, practice makes perfect. Because you have a good rapport with your clients, processes in place, and great energy, in addition to the amazing designs, you'll grow even more confident. You'll be more positive and more enthusiastic, and your business will blossom as your clients sing your praises. Excuse number 5. Everyone's going to make fun of me. This excuse is just your brain's way of trying to keep you safe. Your brain is trying to convince you to do what everyone else is doing so you'll fit in and everyone will like you and you won't be left out by the group. Remember this. The people doing the things you want to do will never make fun of you for trying and succeeding or trying and failing. It's the people who are behind you. The people who think small and live small are the ones who try to keep others people small too. So you can't just let this excuse stop you. Practice putting yourself out of your comfort zone and getting rejected to really exercise this muscle. Because sticking out and standing out from the crowd really is a muscle you can exercise, and you can do it by getting rejected. Practice getting rejected with the coffee challenge. Now, what's the coffee challenge? Anytime you buy coffee, ask for 10% off. Simple. All you have to do is ask 10% off. Usually the cashier will look at you funny and ask you, why do you want 10% off? But don't make up another excuse. Just say because you want one. And they'll still probably look at you funny and say no. And guess what? You'll be fine. You'll get rejected, but you'll be fine. The purpose of coffee challenge isn't actually to get that 10% off. It's to get rejected and to get comfortable being rejected. So if you're afraid of starting a business and everyone making fun of you, go practice getting rejected and realize that it doesn't kill you. Then go after your dreams. At the end of the day, business is all about the exchange of value. Can you give me this amount of money for the service that I'm providing? If you can get more comfortable asking people for things, you'll be more likely to have a successful business. Excuse number 6. You're waiting for permission. Now, if you're reading this, then your permission is granted. Permission to start a business, to succeed, to do what you've always wanted to do. If you've been waiting around for someone to tell you you can do it, this is your permission. The super successful entrepreneurs don't wait for permission. They don't say, can I do this? They just go out there and do it. They don't wait for people to let them. They go out there and get it. So go out and get yours. Yes, I am referring to you. People who start businesses and get successful at them aren't special. They're super normal. Some of them just got lucky and they run with it and made the worst of whatever they did. And then you can do that too. Stop waiting for permission. Just go out there and get it. And the last excuse number 7, I'll do it tomorrow. Now this excuse is the silent killer of so many unstarted businesses. Do not let yourself fall into this trap. It's so easy to push off starting your business until tomorrow. Oh, the game is on, I'll watch that and work on the business tomorrow. Today was so crazy and I have to get up so early, so I'll just do it tomorrow. What difference does it make? No one will know. I'll just start it tomorrow. And then suddenly, it's 1 month, 2 months, or 12 months later and still you haven't started. The best way to get yourself out of the I'll do it tomorrow mindset is to put a limit on your time. Give yourself 48 hours, get 3 customers, and aim to make at least $100. That's the $1 million weekend formula right there. You don't have to do anything fancy like set up a website or create a whole product or do any of the other things or messy things you'd normally do procrastinate even more. Make it a challenge. You have 48 hours and you have to do everything in your power to get at least 3 customers and $100. Why? Because you'll take all the time you give yourself in order to get your business started. If you give yourself 48 hours, you'll take 48 hours. If you don't put a limit on it, then you'll never finish it. So, change your life this weekend. You can do it in 48 hours. What it does, it removes all the excuses and forces you to get creative and focus on what the problem is that people are actually having that you can solve. Sure, you might have to scale down and start smaller, but you can still do it. Quit the excuses and just make it happen. You're not alone. You're not the first entrepreneur to have these excuses running through your brain, and you definitely won't be the last. But the key here is not to let the excuses take over. Don't let them stop you from starting. The good news is, all of these excuses can be overcome. Give these suggestions a try, flex your rejection muscle, limit your time to get started, and get customers rolling in. Once you get customers and cash coming through the door, the momentum will keep you going. And remember, to make space in your life for business. It's not about having time, it's about making time. It may not be easy, but that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Getting through the hard stuff and finding a way to succeed anyway. Now go out there and make it happen. Now, that concludes our presentation on how to start a business while working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I hope you learned a lot on how to deal with these excuses. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop by on my email, on my Skype, and even on my phone number. I'd be happy to contact you with any of your queries. Once again, thank you for listening.